Why isolation is power, the Stoic perspective. Isolation, from a Stoic perspective, refers to a state of self-sufficiency and inner strength that comes from detaching oneself from external circumstances and relying on one's own virtue and wisdom for contentment and tranquility. The Stoic philosophy, founded by ancient Greek philosophers such as Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, places great emphasis on developing a resilient and unshakable mindset that can navigate the challenges of life with equanimity. Here's why isolation, understood in this context, can be considered a source of power according to Stoicism. Independence from external factors is a fundamental concept in Stoicism that refers to the ability to maintain one's inner peace, well-being, and virtue regardless of the ever-changing circumstances of the external world. This concept is closely tied to the Stoic idea of focusing on what is within one's control and accepting what is beyond it. Here's a deeper exploration of this aspect of Stoicism. Focus on the internal. Stoics emphasize that there are things within our control, our thoughts, emotions, actions, and things outside our control, external events, the actions of others. By concentrating our attention on our internal attitudes and behaviors, rather than fixating on external outcomes, we can achieve a sense of stability and tranquility. Reducing dependency. When we become overly attached to external factors such as material possessions, social status, or the opinions of others, we become vulnerable to fluctuations in these factors. Stoicism encourages us to detach our sense of self-worth and contentment from these external variables, thereby reducing our emotional vulnerability and achieving a more lasting state of well-being. Minimizing anxiety. External events are often beyond our control, leading to anxiety and stress if we invest too much of our emotional energy in them. Stoicism teaches that by accepting the impermanence of external circumstances and focusing on our own virtue and character, we can free ourselves from unnecessary anxiety. Embracing adversity. Stoics believe that challenges and adversity are natural aspects of life. Instead of resisting or lamenting them, Stoicism encourages us to embrace these challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. By developing inner strength and resilience, we can face difficulties with a sense of purpose and courage. Cultivating virtue. According to Stoicism, the only true good is virtue, which encompasses qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Since virtue resides within us, it's entirely within our control to cultivate and strengthen. By focusing on developing our virtues, we can create a stable foundation for our well-being that isn't subject to the whims of external circumstances. Finding freedom. The Stoics believe that true freedom is found in the mind's ability to maintain its composure and virtue, regardless of external constraints. By mastering our reactions to external events and choosing virtuous actions, we can experience a profound sense of freedom that isn't constrained by external limitations. In essence, the concept of independence from external factors in Stoicism encourages individuals to find their sense of worth, purpose, and contentment from within, rather than relying on the unpredictable and ever-changing external world. This mindset empowers individuals to navigate life's challenges with resilience and maintain inner peace regardless of the circumstances they find themselves in. Self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency, also known as self-reliance or autarkia in Greek, is a core concept in Stoic philosophy that refers to the ability to find contentment, happiness, and fulfillment within oneself, rather than relying on external possessions, circumstances, or the opinions of others. This concept is closely linked to the Stoic belief that true well-being comes from developing one's inner qualities and virtues. Here's a deeper exploration of self-sufficiency in Stoicism. Internal sources of fulfillment. Stoicism teaches that relying on external factors such as wealth, fame, or the approval of others for one's happiness is inherently unstable, as these factors are subject to change. Self-sufficiency encourages individuals to look inward and develop qualities such as wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline, which are sources of enduring contentment. Freedom from desires. The Stoics believed that excessive desires and attachments to external things lead to suffering. By cultivating self-sufficiency, individuals learn to moderate their desires and realize that true happiness doesn't come from acquiring more possessions, but from learning to be content with what one already possesses. Inner virtue as the highest good. Stoicism places the highest value on cultivating virtues, which are qualities of character that contribute to a life well lived. Virtues are entirely within one's control, making them a reliable source of well-being. Practicing virtues like wisdom and self-discipline leads to a sense of self-sufficiency, as they become the foundation of a meaningful and fulfilling life. Embracing adversity, self-sufficiency involves being prepared to face challenges and difficulties without being emotionally dependent on external comforts. Stoics believe that by learning to endure hardships and maintaining their virtue even in tough situations, individuals can achieve a level of self-sufficiency that isn't easily shaken. Cultivating inner strength. Developing self-sufficiency requires cultivating mental resilience and emotional strength. Stoics practice exercises such as negative visualization, where they contemplate the loss of external goods, to remind themselves that their true well-being resides in their character and virtue, not in external circumstances. Autonomy and freedom. A self-sufficient individual is autonomous and independent, capable of making rational choices based on their own principles rather than being swayed by societal norms or peer pressure. This autonomy leads to a sense of inner freedom, as one is less bound by external expectations. Minimizing anxiety. The Stoics believe that by focusing on what is within one's control and accepting what is not, individuals can reduce anxiety and achieve a sense of tranquility. Self-sufficiency plays a significant role in this process by directing one's attention inward and fostering a stable source of well-being. In summary, self-sufficiency in Stoicism involves finding contentment and happiness through the development of inner virtues, rather than relying on external circumstances. By cultivating qualities of character and learning to be content with oneself, individuals can achieve lasting well-being and navigate life's challenges with resilience and composure. Emotional resilience, from a Stoic perspective, refers to the ability to maintain a steady and composed state of mind in the face of challenges, setbacks, and emotional turmoil. It involves cultivating a mindset that allows you to manage and regulate your emotions, leading to greater inner peace and a balanced response to life's ups and downs. Stoicism offers valuable insights and practices that can help individuals develop emotional resilience. Mindful awareness. Stoics emphasize the importance of being aware of your thoughts and emotions. By practicing mindfulness, you can observe your emotional reactions without immediately acting on them. This awareness provides a crucial pause that allows you to choose a rational response rather than being driven by impulsive emotions. Rational examination. When faced with intense emotions, Stoicism encourages you to examine them rationally. Ask yourself whether your emotional response aligns with reason and virtue. This practice helps you distance yourself from irrational reactions and gain a clearer perspective on the situation. Acceptance of what is. Stoics teach acceptance of events beyond your control. This doesn't mean passively surrendering, but rather acknowledging that you cannot change certain circumstances. By accepting this reality, you can reduce emotional resistance and focus on how you choose to respond. Dichotomy of control. This Stoic principle distinguishes between things you can control, your thoughts, actions, and judgments, and things you cannot control, external events, other people's opinions. Focusing on what's within your control empowers you to direct your emotional energy toward productive actions rather than futile worry. Negative visualization. This exercise involves contemplating potential adversities or losses. By mentally preparing for challenges, you reduce the shock factor and develop resilience when difficult situations arise. This practice helps you reframe your perspective and cultivate gratitude for what you have. Virtue ethics. Central to Stoicism is the cultivation of virtues such as wisdom, courage, and self-discipline. These virtues guide your emotional responses, as you strive to align your emotions with reason and ethical principles. For example, in the face of fear, you can call upon courage to act despite your apprehension. Choosing your perspective. Stoicism emphasizes that events themselves are neutral, it's our judgments that color them as positive or negative. By choosing to view situations through a rational and virtuous lens, you can influence your emotional reactions and prevent unnecessary distress. Controlling reaction. You might not always be able to control external events, but you can always control your reaction to them. Stoicism teaches that by cultivating emotional resilience, you can respond to challenges in a measured and constructive way rather than being overwhelmed by emotions. In essence, emotional resilience in Stoicism involves a mindful, rational, and virtuous approach to managing your emotions. By focusing on what you can control, accepting what you cannot, and aligning your reactions with reason and virtue, you can develop the inner strength to navigate life's emotional challenges with grace and equanimity. Freedom from fear and anxiety. Freedom from fear and anxiety is a central goal of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism offers a practical framework for cultivating a mindset that allows individuals to navigate life's uncertainties with tranquility and composure. Here's how Stoicism addresses freedom from fear and anxiety. Acceptance of the uncontrollable. Stoicism teaches that many things are beyond our control, including external events and the actions of others. Fear often arises from our attachment to outcomes we cannot influence. By accepting the limits of our control, Stoics free themselves from the anxiety of trying to manipulate the uncontrollable. Focus on the present moment. Fear often stems from worrying about the future. Stoics advocate focusing on the present moment and addressing what is within your control right now. By doing so, you can alleviate concerns about what might happen in the future and focus on constructive actions. Negative visualization. This Stoic practice involves deliberately considering potential misfortunes and difficulties. By mentally preparing for adversity, you reduce the shock and emotional distress if such situations arise. This exercise also helps you recognize the impermanence of external circumstances, making you less anxious about potential losses. Dichotomy of control. Stoicism teaches the dichotomy between what's within your control and what's not. Anxiety often arises when you invest emotional energy into things you cannot control. By directing your efforts toward what you can influence, your thoughts, attitudes, and actions, you free yourself from the unnecessary burden of worrying about external outcomes. Virtue as a source of stability. Stoic virtues, such as courage and wisdom, provide a stable foundation for navigating life. Cultivating virtues means acting in accordance with reason and ethics, which reduces the internal conflict that can contribute to anxiety. Practicing virtuous behaviors leads to a sense of inner peace and confidence. Rational examination of fears. Stoicism encourages examining your fears and worries rationally. Often, our anxieties are based on irrational beliefs or exaggerated scenarios. By critically assessing your fears, you can differentiate between realistic concerns and those that are unfounded. Mindful response to emotions. Stoics practice mindful awareness of their emotional responses. When fear arises, they pause and reflect on whether the fear is rational or based on impressions that can be challenged. This practice empowers you to respond to fear with reason rather than being controlled by it. Realization of transience. Stoics teach the impermanence of external circumstances. By recognizing that everything, both good and bad, is subject to change, you develop a perspective that allows you to detach from the extremes of joy and fear. This realization fosters a more stable emotional state. In summary, Stoicism provides practical tools and perspectives to achieve freedom from fear and anxiety. By focusing on what is within your control, practicing acceptance of the uncontrollable, and aligning your emotions with reason and virtue, you can develop the emotional resilience to face life's challenges with a calm and steady demeanor. Alignment with nature is a core principle in Stoic philosophy that encourages individuals to live in harmony with the natural order of the universe. This concept is rooted in the idea that by recognizing and accepting the inherent structure and flow of reality, people can attain greater tranquility, wisdom, and resilience. Here's how Stoicism approaches alignment with nature. Understanding the universal order. Stoics believed that the universe operates according to a rational and orderly structure. This structure is governed by natural laws that apply to everything, including human beings. By understanding and accepting this cosmic order, individuals can find guidance on how to live their lives. Recognizing impermanence, the Stoics emphasized the transient nature of everything in the universe, including human life. By acknowledging the impermanence of both positive and negative circumstances, individuals can cultivate an attitude of equanimity and resilience. This recognition helps them detach from the excessive pursuit of pleasure or the fear of pain. Acceptance of change. Change is an inevitable part of life. Stoicism teaches that embracing change rather than resisting it leads to greater peace of mind. By aligning with the natural course of events, individuals can adapt more gracefully to shifting circumstances. Adapting to circumstances, Stoicism encourages individuals to be flexible in the face of challenges. Just as nature adapts to various conditions, individuals should adjust their responses based on the circumstances they encounter. This adaptive mindset enables them to navigate difficulties with greater ease. Living virtuously, virtue, according to Stoicism, is in accordance with nature. By cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline, individuals align their actions with the highest moral principles and the natural order of the universe. Virtues are universal qualities that are valued regardless of cultural or temporal differences. Focusing on what's within your control, a key component of alignment with nature is the concept of the dichotomy of control. Stoics advise focusing on what is within your control, your thoughts, attitudes, and actions, while accepting what lies outside your control. This aligns with the idea that the only things truly within your power are those in your sphere of influence. Finding peace in simplicity. Nature often demonstrates simplicity and efficiency in its processes. Stoicism suggests that individuals can find contentment by simplifying their desires and needs. By detaching from excessive materialism and external validations, they can lead more fulfilling lives. Applying reason and rationality, humans possess the faculty of reason, which sets them apart from other creatures. Stoicism encourages using reason to navigate life's complexities. By making rational choices and considering the broader context, individuals can align their decisions with the natural order. In essence, alignment with nature in Stoicism involves recognizing the orderly and interconnected nature of the universe, embracing change and impermanence, and living in accordance with virtues and reason. This perspective allows individuals to find greater peace, wisdom, and resilience as they navigate life's challenges. Inner peace and tranquility. Inner peace and tranquility are cherished states of mind in Stoicism, achieved through the practice of principles and exercises that help individuals detach from external disturbances and cultivate a serene and balanced inner life. Stoic philosophy offers valuable insights into achieving inner peace. Focus on what you can control. Stoics emphasize the distinction between things within your control and those beyond it. Inner peace comes from recognizing that external circumstances are often beyond your control, but your thoughts, attitudes, and responses are within your power. By focusing on your inner realm, you can find stability even in the midst of external turbulence. Acceptance of reality. Stoicism teaches that suffering arises from our resistance to reality. Inner peace is fostered by accepting the way things are, even if they don't align with our preferences. This acceptance reduces the emotional turmoil caused by fighting against the inevitable. Detach from external goods. Stoics believe that true contentment isn't derived from external possessions or circumstances. By freeing yourself from the constant pursuit of wealth, fame, or approval, you can attain a lasting sense of peace. This detachment doesn't mean indifference, but rather a healthy perspective on the value of external things. Practice of virtue. Virtues, such as wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline, are central to Stoicism. Striving to live a virtuous life brings inner peace, as your actions are aligned with higher principles. Virtues guide your decisions, leading to a sense of integrity and inner harmony. Mindfulness and rationality. Stoics advocate for mindfulness, the practice of being fully present, and rationality, the ability to evaluate your thoughts and reactions. These practices allow you to observe your emotions without being carried away by them. Mindfulness and rationality provide a mental space where you can respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Negative visualization. Imagining worst-case scenarios can paradoxically lead to greater peace. By mentally preparing for potential challenges and losses, you reduce the fear of the unknown. This practice cultivates resilience and helps you appreciate what you have in the present moment. Living in accordance with nature, aligning your life with the natural order, as Stoicism suggests, brings inner harmony. Recognize the impermanence of external circumstances and the inevitability of change. By acknowledging this reality, you can develop an acceptance that contributes to tranquility. Cultivating gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. Stoicism encourages appreciating the present moment and the simple things in life. This shift in perspective can lead to a more peaceful and contented state of mind. In summary, Stoicism offers a comprehensive approach to cultivating inner peace and tranquility. By focusing on what you can control, accepting reality, practicing virtues, being mindful, and aligning with nature, you can develop a resilient and serene mindset that enables you to navigate life's challenges with equanimity. In summary, from a Stoic perspective, isolation refers to the inner strength and resilience that arise from detaching oneself from external influences and finding contentment within one's own virtue and wisdom. This state of mind empowers individuals to face challenges with equanimity, cultivate emotional resilience, and find lasting inner peace.